was Burning Man and going to festivals, making clothings to go to festivals. That was the main impetus for costuming. So I borrowed my brother's old Toyota sewing machine from 1953 and I basically taught myself to sew and started making costumes, and it more or less went from there. I started looking at the world completely differently, and now when I see something, almost my first thought is, can I make that? And I've discovered that mostly the answer is yes. I could point to several different things in this room that my parents made, and as I was a kid they taught me how to do this as well. We would sit down on Saturday afternoons around the table and make stuff. It's just in our blood, we all do it. My brother likes to mess with high voltage electronics. He's currently building Tesla coils and railguns and blowing stuff up and putting it on Tumblr. The first thing I made was a staff from Dragon Age. The whole concept of taking something that had previously existed only in 2 dimensions and making it into something that I could pick up and carry around and show people and go, look, I made that. It just, yeah, I was very, very pleased with myself. I had to wait until June this year before I could actually enter my first real cosplay contest, and I entered the Wellington Armageddon with the Grey Warden. I was hot and tired and my back hurt and I just really wanted it to be over so I could go home, and then I won and I went up on stage and completely fell out of character. I was equal parts surprised and stoked, really. I like to make things look authentic. I want my costumes to be the sort of things that you can actually roll around on the ground in and they won't break. I'm very proud of myself because I remembered to put a pocket in there for my keys and my money and my phone, which is well hidden by everything else that I'll be wearing. The mask is the other defining feature of the Sarabas. They are treated like tools or weapons rather than people, and this is part of depersonalising them, dehumanising them so that they're unrecognisable as individuals. Their name is Sarabas, they don't have a personal name. I wasn't this nervous before the Wellington competition. This time I have this electronic thing. I've been practicing, but I know that if I get it wrong it won't work, and I don't want to look like a dick in front of a whole bunch of people. So yeah, I'm quite nervous about that. Okay, wig. Oh, I do need the mirror for this, but I don't. Do I need to put the wig on yet? Shit. What goes next? Probably a dilemma shared by many cosplayers is whether to make a costume that just needs an assistant or to try and make it so you can do it yourself. As you can see, it's a process. Okay, ready to go.
Contestants get a call time by email and they're expected to be there 5 minutes before that so that we can bring them in as a group. So there'll be, say, a 10:30 session, 11 o'clock session, 11:30.
I'm entered in the open solo contest. I know my work is good. I know that the people who've seen it so far have thought it was fantastic. I love it, but the quality of cosplay is just so high in New Zealand. The judges have a tough job.
It's a very informal thing. It's really, really informal. All they need to do is just talk to me. Just a few questions. The form should tell me everything that the contestant wanted me to know about the construction of their costume, and then They can get excited and say, hey, this is something that the audience will never see, but I've added in, I've French seamed all the insides of the shirt, or I've hand stitched and you can see the stitching on the back of this. That's what those interview sessions are for. There's this almost like a competition with the industry to try and make things that people can't quite reproduce at home. It's a great challenge and I love it, but you can definitely get the feeling that game and movie people are ramping constantly higher and higher each time.
Still nervous about the electronics. I had another practice after you left and gave it another go. It's still working, but oh. When I go flick with my wrist, the magnet lets go of the nail, it hits the contact and turns the light on. And ta-da, balls of light in my hands. I'm very, very nervous because I've been practicing and it takes a very specific movement to make it work. I'm getting about 3 or 4 in a row now, so hopefully that will work. I hope I don't get up on stage and forget what I'm supposed to be doing and then just balls it all up.
As a cosplayer, costumer myself, I absolutely adore the craft side. I mean, the actual process of making a costume for me is incredibly rewarding. So when people come with something, say, with a technique that is particularly difficult to master, I will personally be really interested and talk about it and actually have a dialogue, because it's the journey of the cosplayer that I'm interested in hearing about at that time.
I got up on stage and I did my thing and it worked and people liked it, and that just makes me really, really happy.
Next we have the solo open. That goes to Rowan as Elizabeth from Pirates of the Caribbean.
The level of competition was just fantastic. The winner totally deserved it. I mean, really, she took that dress off and then she took another dress off and underneath was that thing, and I just went, whoa, and so did everybody else. It was just fantastic. Yeah, I don't know what to say, it was great. A lot of fun running around with friends from Wellington cosplaying, people asking for photos. It's very validating. It makes you feel good. I feel hardcore dressed like this, even if I'm not in real life. This makes me feel good. I've just had a brilliant time. Who wouldn't want to be able to shoot fireballs out of the palms of their hands, you know? Who wouldn't want to ride around on dragons or have horns or any of those things? And bringing that fantasy into a little bit of your life, it really does feel real to an extent.